Welcome everyone to another review, and in today's review we're going to be taking a look at ESET Smart Security version 8. And I want to apologize in advance if I sound like crap. That's because I'm getting over a cold. So we're just going to have to try and tough through this review, I guess. Alright, with that put aside, what has changed in version 8 of ESET Smart Security? Well, they've supposedly introduced botnet protection. Now, botnet protection, for those of you who don't know what a botnet is, that's basically a collection of computers that is unwillingly sending out malicious content or spam. Those individual computers are also known as zombies. You probably heard that before. But all those computers put together are called a botnet. So that's basically what that is. And they've also have enhanced exploit blocker. This is used according to ESET. It protects against web browsers, PDF, Office documents, Java communications, stuff like that. And according to them, it also eliminates lock screens and ransomware. So that'd be quite interesting to actually see. Hopefully we'll run into some ransomware today. But I know ransomware is well, it's growing in popularity. Seems to be very difficult for me to come across or at least get working. But I'll see maybe later on if I can get some ransomware to work with this, but for now we're just going to go ahead and do a normal test. They've also introduced ESET sync or system response or system, sorry. If I can talk here maybe, or I can't even think today I guess. System Rescue Live. Looks like I'm going to read this word for word here. The next generation of ESET system rescue utilities. ESET System Rescue allows you to create a bootable disk. Okay, so basically it looks like it's a bootable disk that you can use to clean your computer without actually being in the operating system itself. So that's kind of nice. They finally got that. They've supposedly revamped their HIPs, changing the rules. It says here only suspicious system events trigger a notification beyond the set of predefined rules in automatic mode. So I know in the past I've kind of criticized ESET for not having any rules in their HIPs, because how is a HIPs engine supposed to work if you don't have any rules for it? And we'll get into that just a little bit later. But otherwise, they've also introduced ESET Cyber, or not introduced, but revamped supposedly ESET Cyber Security Education. And supposedly, according to this, they're going to be possibly introducing it or integrating it into the UI or have it reflect in some way in the UI. We'll have to wait and see what they do with that. So, let's take a look, let me close that out, at the interface here. Now, based off of version 7, it really hasn't changed too much. It looks relatively the same. And so we're not going to go through it too much here. But we got computer scan right here. You got your smart scan, you got your custom scan right here, which is, I assume, where you can do a full system scan just by checking my computer, and there you go. It's basically the same as doing a full system scan. Update button right here. We can do our update options. Setup. We can go to computer and set up different options related to the computer, security in general, network, which is where the firewall will be located under, and web and email, parental control, stuff like that. Now let me go into actually the HIPs here quick and show you guys kind of what I'm talking about, and you know, we'll see what I would set it as. So you can see we have the exploit blocker right here checked, which is good. However, it's currently set in automatic mode by default. That's always how ESET's done their settings when it comes to their HIPs. But order of evaluation, it goes rules and then allow. Now that's basically a default allow architecture to a T. And you guys know how I don't really like, and I'm not really a fan of default allow architecture, because it's essentially just like you opening up your door to some stranger that just knocked at it. And how do you know if they're good or bad? You just let them in your house. And some people even have the analogy of blindfolding yourself and doing that. So I'm not really a big fan of setting it to automatic. If I were running this, I would definitely add some more rules, because if we look at configure rules here, all we have is allow registry access and driver loading requests are required for successful boot. And that's it for allow. Otherwise, there aren't any other rules in here. So it'll be really interesting today to see if anything gets blocked by the HIPs, because my prediction is nothing will, just by seeing this. Now, I can't remember exactly the way the results came out for the version 7. But if I remember correctly, the behavior blocker didn't do too much, or the HIPs didn't do too much in general when it came to blocking things. But we'll see how version 8 does. So I don't want to be biased, so that's why I kind of just left that off to the side, and we're just gonna start fresh with this. So in general, what would I set it? I would go more, it looks like, towards policy-based mode, which is it evaluates the rules and then blocks the application. But now you got to be careful with this, because this is going to take it to the other extreme, where if it doesn't know about an application and it's not in the rules, it's going to block everything. I mean, and I'm not talking about just a few things. It's going to block everything. So you really would have to set a lot of rules to use that one. Maybe I would possibly use smart mode here, or it would suspend the action, so it'd give you time to block it. That might be one that I use. But generally, I guess if I were to use this to be absolutely safe, I would probably set up some rules and then set it to block, just so that's more of a default deny architecture instead of default allow. That's how I guess I would set that up. And I know the last time I tested this too, I spent a lot of time talking about the hips and the rules, because ESET always has had good settings in general, and as you can see, they're very granular settings and very in-depth settings, and I like that about ESET. Just some of their hips, I wish they would have more defaults in there for the rules instead of just that one. But I guess one is better than none, right? Because if I remember in the past, I didn't have any. So moving on here, they got a gamer mode. If we go to network here, I'm testing the smart security, which has the personal firewall. If you're testing Nod 32, that's just an antivirus. It does not include a firewall. We have web and email, so you can set up your email client and stuff like that. I assume you can put your somehow set up the protocol that it's going to use, if it's going to use POP3 or the simple mail transfer protocol. But I'm not going to get too in depth with that, because that's not really what we're testing today. Parental controls, it has excuse me, update settings, update rollback. That's kind of nice. If they send out a botched update, you can use that to send the update backward, or load your previous DAT file. That's what I'm trying to say here. So user interface, obviously you can adjust the graphical interface at some level and degree right through that. So let's go ahead and actually start testing this here. We got our VPN online. ESET has been up to date, or has been updated. I'll go ahead and check one more time, seeing it's so fast. I love how fast it was updating the first time. That was awesome. Freshly downloaded this from their website, so it should be all up to date program wise. We'll check anyways, because I think it went pretty fast last time. Yep, so everything's up to date. All the modules are enabled. According to ESET, we have maximum protection. Let's go ahead and begin the test. So let's get the kill switch open here. Thought I clicked it, but not fast enough, I guess. Or the computer's too fast for me. One of those two. Probably should have had kill switch open already. Alright, come on, kill switch. There we go. So let's see if we can also take a look at what it is using, what smart security is using today. Alright. So let's go ahead and see what ESET's using. We got a process right there. Let's just sort it by signer. It looks like we have two processes running currently, and it looks like we got 78 and 26. So we got 9. So it looks like about 100 and some meg. That's not too bad, especially like I said with today in computers, that having so much RAM, that's not bad at all. And it's not using a lot in the way of CPU, which is in my mind a lot more important than if it were using more RAM. So RAM is not as important in my mind as CPU. So right now, this is a really good lightweight application on the system for being a full internet security suite. That's pretty lightweight. And I think I already closed. Yeah, the GUI's closed, so I don't know why that's I guess they still kind of load it in RAM to make it run faster, which makes sense. You don't have to load the splash screen. But I assume if you wanted to, you could actually turn that off. So that process would not be there, and then you just have 76 meg, which is actually really good. So enough talking about the processes, because I know how fun that is talking about those processes. Let's go ahead and sort by rating here. And actually, just hide the say processes. Let's do that. All right. Load this up here. Let's load our first site. We're going to try to do 10 links today. Hopefully everything's going to cooperate, but as everyone knows, usually it doesn't. So, looks like this is all from the same URL. but we're going to try it anyways. So let's click on link number 1. Okay, looks like it wants to download. And it looks like ESET, this is a potential threat found. Detected upon web applications. Okay. So it looks like this is the web shield that's kicking in right here, the web threat analysis module. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect. And that one was blocked. So number 1 was blocked. And number 2. And I assume this one's going to be blocked too. Yep, that one is also blocked. Oh, disconnect. Why am I clicking no action? That would be bad. Okay, so that one I'm not going to count, and reason being is that was the web shield that was detecting that one, and they're the same URL. So this one, let's see here. We'll count this one because this one is adware first of all, and second of all, it's from a different URL. So this will be number 2. It's listed as adware. Whether it is adware or not, we will find out. Alright, potential threat found. Disconnect, and that one was blocked. Okay, number 3. Let's see. Let's try this one right here. Access denied. That one was blocked. So far, so good. And let's see, what else do we got? Not much. It is slim pickings today. Let's go ahead and try this one. And number 4 is going to be, nobody knows until it downloads. Looks like it might get through. Okay, so it looks like nothing from ESET yet. I'm going to run it. Looks like it's running perfectly fine. No notifications from ESET at the moment. Okay, let's continue with the test. Or try to at least. Let's see, which one should we do next here? Let's try... I've got a lot of DLL hosts. That's kind of worrying a little bit, and it's still running there in the background. Okay, let's try before shit starts hitting the fan. Let's click on that one, or on this one. So number 4 was missed. Okay, that one was blocked. Disconnect. Try this one. Potential unwanted. Go back. So that one was blocked. Number 6 was blocked. Let's do number 7, and this is all very low detection rate, mind you, so this is very good to see that ESET's detecting this stuff. Looks like the one that was running there is cannot continue, probably formatted, but okay, so it looks like that one did not work. And it looks like number 7 has gotten through. We're going to run it, see if anything happens from ESET. Nothing so far from ESET. It appears as if the behavioral detection, once again, like I predicted, it's not really functioning at top tier levels. However, address has been blocked, so it is blocking some connections to websites, which is good to see. We're going to try and run this one. Okay, so it looks like this one, can't read that, so that one, I don't know, might be false positive. We'll try another one, seeing we're doing so good here today with links. Okay, so that one was denied. So number 9 here. This looks like an injector of some sort. Okay, running security scan, it states. Download was interrupted. Nothing from ESET yet. Let me try that one more time here. Let me save it to the desktop. want to make sure it downloads. Has been moved or deleted. Okay, so it looks like ESET is blocking it, but yet I have no alerts from ESET, which I don't like to see, but nevertheless, I guess it's good that it blocked it. So as for number 9, I'm going to count that as blocked. Give it that one. And let's go number 10. Number 10. Let's see, we'll do this one right here. And we'll see if ESET can block this, or whatever it may be. And then we're going to move on to the 0-day analysis. We still do have malware running, but it's not compromised the system. And it looks like we have a threat found. So number 10 was blocked. Awesome. So overall, it missed only 2. And of the 2, it looks like those were able to run without any restrictions. And we did have one that looks like it got quarantined or deleted without any notification from ESET. I like to see notifications. I don't like it when programs just act upon their own will without notifying me what they're doing. So that's going to kind of have to go ESET against ESET a little bit there. All right, let's go ahead and we are going to, I'll close kill switch out. That's just taking up space here and speed. But let's go ahead and first kill these pieces of malware here, because we don't want those to be taking up any CPU cycles if we can. Alright, so it looks like we killed those. Hopefully they won't start back up again. Alright, let's go ahead and extract our malware here, but before we do that, let's go ahead and temporarily disable the protection. And we'll do it for 30 minutes. Okay, need to. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, extract our malware. There we go, come on. Alright, see how much we have in the folder. Alright, we have, it looks like 151 files within this folder. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a scan with ESET, and once that's complete, which it looks like it's going pretty quick, well, maybe not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. It's taking a little bit longer than I expected. Maybe not. You know, every time I say I'm going to pause the video, I never do. If I remember correctly, ESET is a very quick cleaner. It cleans and deletes file, or I should say deletes files pretty quick. So 81%, you know what? I'm not pausing the video anymore. Sorry, guys. Alright, threat found. Okay, so did it find only 2? Or did it find all those? Well, we're going to find out. So we're going to delete those 2. And number of infiltrations. Okay, I don't know if it's scan finished. Number of scanned objects 175. Number of infected objects 148. Number of cleaned objects. Alright. So basically it looks like it cleaned all these. It's good to see. Good to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more scan just to ensure it found everything. States it found or scanned 3 objects. If it really did scan 3 objects, holy crap. And it did. Wow. That is really good. Now, granted, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This malware is not 100% 0-day. It came out last night, but still, that is really good. That is really good detection ratio. That's got to be like 98% right there, I think. Let's just do the numbers just so you guys can see the numbers again. You know I'm bad at math, so just bear with me here. Minus 3, 151, so yep, 98% detection ratio. Now that's really good. So I have to say I'm pretty impressed with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to run these 3 pieces of malware, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I expect at least something to happen with these 3 pieces of malware, or I can't really give ESET the full recommendation, just because I'd be too concerned that their behavior blocker would allow these threats to run freely on the system. So, nevertheless, let's go ahead and re-enable the protection here, and we're going to run these threats and see what happens. So, let me get kill switch open so we can monitor what's going on in the background. Okay. Let's hide the save processes. No, not performance graph. Oh, jeez. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and run these three, as exciting as it might be. All right, so that one is currently running with no restrictions. This one is confirmed as malware now, and it looks like we're also running the other one. SVC host is now spoofing that process, and it looks like that one, no idea what it is. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and close that out. That one might be a false positive of some sort. Don't know what that is. Someone obviously tried to write a program. So, looks like 45.exe is still running on the system. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now, and I don't think there's any, well, two major infections in the system, but we're going to find out. I shouldn't say that because there was a lot of malware that did get passed with no notifications from ESET. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to restart the computer. And after the computer's restarted, we're going to do a smart scan with ESET. And then we're also going to do our scans with the Komodo Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro. So once those are all complete, I'll be back with a final verdict on ESET. Alright guys, so it looks like these scans have finished. And it looks like ESET found 5 threats here. Excuse me. Alright, so it looks like ESET found 5 threats. And it appears that they're all in the temporary internet files. So that's not as big of a deal as some of the other things I found in the system. So let's go ahead and close that out. Here is Komodo Cleaning Essentials. And it supposedly found some stuff in what other than the startup folder. Yes, svchost.exe. That is not the actual SVC host that is meant to be on the system here. As in fact a piece of malware. So not exactly the best thing to see. Let's take a look at Malwarebytes. What did it find? Actually, I haven't looked at Malwarebytes yet. It looks like it found some adware and a backdoor bot. That's not good to see as that svc host.exe. And it actually, I think, is running on the system currently. Let's take a look. Let's see. Now we're going to have some legitimate ones right here. But I don't know if it is or not. Probably missing it. Let's try and sort by name here, see if we can find it. Network system. Yeah, maybe it is not actually running on the system. Let me open up Killswitch here and see if Killswitch can detect it. Because Killswitch should be able to detect that that's not the actual SVC host. And this will make this test go a lot quicker. Alright. Alright. So, let's see what Killswitch says. Let's hide the saved processes here. And it appears if it is not actually running on the system. So while it might be in the startup folder, it looks like as if maybe ESET has prevented it from actually running fully on the system, which I guess is a good thing. So no malware is currently active on the system, but we do have malware within the system here. And last but not least, let's take a look at Hitman Pro and see what it found. It found some riskware as well as the SVC host and some more riskware right here. So bottom line for ESET Smart Security version 8. I think it performed decently. Now, before you guys all start getting cranky when I said, oh, you know, this performed decently, when you're sitting there probably thinking, what are you talking about? You're crazy. It blocked so many threats and only let 2 of the 10 in there and a 98% detection ratio. Yes, that part is astounding. That part is amazing. Now, the only thing that I see they have to work on is their behavioral detection, their HIPS engine. They do have a great web threat analysis engine or web module. I don't know what you really want to call it. But nevertheless, they really kind of have to step up their game a little bit when it comes to their HIPS and their rules. Like I stated earlier, I would, as of right now, run the hips in a, I think it was interactive mode here. No, it was policy-based mode. That's what it was. Instead of the other way, or instead of automatic, just because I want it to be able to set the rules. And I think if you do it this way here, let me see what exactly happens. I think if you try to run a program that isn't in the rule base, let me try and just run this one here. It should have prompted me here. Now it didn't. Why did it not prompt me? Because essentially it should be blocking anything. Well, I guess, but see, there's no rules in there unless they have hidden rules. That's the only thing I can think of here. Let's go to configure rules, new. Okay, so if we tell it to block, yeah, that's the thing. We don't have any rules in here, so right now it's not necessarily going to work either, even though we set it at that. So that's I guess the bottom line I have to say here is they really have to get more rules within their HIPS engine. It's a really great program. I love how you can get the fine tune down to, you know, the grayness. You can fine tune this program amazing. It's absolutely amazing how in depth you can go. That's what I like about it, and that's why most IT companies go with this program too and recommend it to most enterprises because of that. It's so customizable. But once again, behavior detection. You saw that malware running, and you saw it had no problem infecting the system. Now, they stated they can't be infected by ransomware, but I guess I'm going to do some further testing on that. I don't know if I believe that 100%, because you know, malware or anti-malware companies also state that they protect your system and don't let threats in. You know, and this is the maximum of protection, as you can see right up here too. Well, as we know, you know, nothing is 100%. So that's it for this review. I think I'm gonna call it good on this one. Bottom line, ESET did good. It did good, except for the behavioral detections. Because of that, I guess I'd have to do a little more research on it. And once I configured the hips right, I think it would be a really good program. So, bottom line, it did good. Just needs a little help in the behavior blocking section and the hips section, but it did good. So, that's going to be it. I'll stop rambling now, and I'll go ahead and upload this to YouTube. Next, I might do Trend Micro. I don't know. We'll see. I still got to figure out which products have been released, which anti-malware companies have released their 2015 versions, but I know that's really starting to pop out everywhere. So, with school, though, it's kind of difficult for me to get to testing all these programs right away. So I'll get them out as I can, and next time we'll see you. I might do Trend Micro. So see you guys then.